Welcome all you lovers of drag and drag artistry. It is I, your hostess with the mostest, Anita Hardwin, because every now and then you just need a hard one. Anyway, welcome to our inaugural episode of Gagging for More, where we're going to interview drag artists. A lot of our guests might be from television shows that you could possibly recognize. And some of them might not have ever been on TV before. You just never know. The biggest thing is to showcase drag in all its wonderfulness, to be honest with you. So sit back, enjoy the ride. Again, get it? Hard one. Anyway, we're going to welcome on our co-host, Silent Giggles. Please tell me you ain't gonna be silent, girl.
What up? Silent Giggles speaking.
All the way from Arizona, the lesbian herself, T Doggeroony, aka you know you miss me calling you that bitch.
Yes, very much.
Remember the time we went to that drag show in downtown Los Angeles and that motherfucking idiot that went with us fell off the fucking stool onto the floor?
Yes.
What the fuck was that?
Oh,
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Good times. Good times.
Really.
How have you been?
Awesome. I'm doing awesome.
I'm so excited we get to go on this journey together.
Yay!
We are going to bring on our very first inaugural guest. This is like epic for me. I am like massively, I'm excited right now. I really am, just because I'm obsessed with this fucking show. So one of my new obsessions, of course. Well, you know, I've always loved RuPaul's Drag Race, right?
Yes.
But a couple of years ago, about maybe 3 years ago, I discovered my new favorite obsession, and it is a show none other than called the Boulet Brothers Dragula.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on like Shudder, put out by World of Wonder, just like RuPaul, all their stuff. I mean, it's all like World of Wonder, right? So like, I'm just excited because this show is a game changer for the drag world. It's like, you don't have to just be some pretty package in some, shiny dress and, whatever. You can be anything you want to be in the world of drag, which is amazing to me, especially in the realms of horror and sci-fi and fantasy and things like that. That stuff doesn't get showcased enough on these mainstream shows. That's why I love Boulet Brothers Dragula, because it's not like mainstream per se. Yeah, it's on TV, but it's not like, oh, it's on MTV and all this shit. You know what I mean? But I just love them because I truly feel that they're really trying to help drag artists get a name for themselves. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel that their show is even more genuine in their love for these artists, and that they really want to see them thrive. So yeah. I'm very excited. So if any of you have never seen this show before, you need to go fucking watch it, because the Boulet Brothers Dragula is amazing. It is on, actually, if you go on Amazon Prime, you can find it. And then, I sometimes like to watch clips on YouTube.
Right.
Have you had a chance to see that show?
Not yet, but I will. I will find it.
Well, yes, I think you definitely need to be checking this out, because this next wonderful, amazing drag artist, our first on the show, I'm very excited, is from the Boulet Brothers Dragula season 2, and she was also on Titans, which is like their version of All Stars, basically, where it's like the, competitors from prior seasons all kind of like come and all compete again, to win prizes and money, and who the fuck doesn't want money? I mean, or prizes. This is she's amazing. Anime, gaming, gamer type stuff. Like I picture her at like Anime Con and K-Con and all these like freaking awesome places. And but I want to introduce none other than the woman who twirled and swirled all over New York City. None other than Erika Klash. How's it going? I think you're muted. I don't know what happened. I don't know. All of a sudden you were here and then you weren't here. Oh, let me turn up your volume, maybe. Can you hear me? Always the case. Hold on. I can't hear you. I don't know what happened. Hold on. Can we hear you now?
Testing.
There we go. Now we can hear you. Yay!
So you can see and hear me?
Yes, you're a little frozen, but you're there.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me on.
Oh, I'm so excited that you're here. So how have you been doing?
Pretty good. I've been doing. Oh, hold on. I'm getting feedback. Oh, I see. 1 second. Yes, I'm doing well. Enjoying life in Los Angeles. I've been living here for almost 2 years, and
that's awesome.
I love it out here. It's great. The weather. I have a patio in my apartment, which is something you can't do really in New York. Maybe some lucky people get a balcony, but I've just been really enjoying my new city. So,
oh, that's awesome. Where were you before?
So, New York before that, but then before that, I had lived in San Francisco for 3 years. And that was when
I remember. Yes, I remember when you were on season 2, you mentioned that you had just moved to San Francisco.
Yes. And then before that, like lifelong New Yorker. So just something was always calling me to California.
Nice.
Okay. So you went out there for the show to like film and stuff, and you kind of got a sense of it and looked around and was like, kind of like it here. Maybe I might want to live here.
Well, the first time I went was in 2016. So that was like the year that season 1 of Dragula came out. And I got to perform for the Boulets that Halloween season. And then a couple months later, I just decided, my partner at the time, and I to move to San Francisco. So I actually moved a couple months before I even knew about auditions for season 2, before that was even really like on my radar. Because the first season was for queens that were local to LA. So we didn't know immediately there would be a second season, or that they would be having a wider range of auditions. So it kind of worked out that I went to San Francisco.
Yeah, you just happen to live in California, so it made it so that you could go like on the show.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. What would you say your primary base of drag would be?
Like where I started and things like that?
Yeah, like what made you want to get into doing this as an art form?
Yeah, I mean, I was a fan of Drag Race, like so many people.
Right.
And yeah, I always had another side of myself that, being socialized as a boy, things that are not, you can't really share like when you're growing up, right? So drag like helped me to kind of uncover like parts of myself that were super hidden. my gender identity, my gender expression. Like drag was a way for me to play with all of that. And I also like was a theater kid. I love theater. And so I looked at drag like through that lens of like I get to kind of be a one person theater company and kind of do a little bit of everything. And I think it was great too to find more community. I didn't always feel super connected to the gay community, but then when I became a drag artist, I had a place within community, so that was really cool.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. What would you, I guess, identify as?
As far as like gender identity out of drag and things, yeah. I think of myself as like non-binary person. Oh, okay, definitely cool. Like on the feminine end of the spectrum, if you will. And I've always just been like that. I don't have an explanation or a, that's just how I always was. But it's something that, again, being brought up as a boy, you have to like kind of tone down or, things like that. So,
well, we understand it from the opposite end of the perspective,
right?
Where me and T are more butch, or you know what I mean. As far as okay, so I always say like when I'm with a man, like I have a husband. I live currently as I don't know, somebody who's married to a man. But I tend to identify more as pansexual.
Mm-hmm.
I don't look at the gender of the person necessarily, but when I'm with a man, I'm more the submissive and more feminine of the female. But when I'm with a woman, I'm a dyke.
Well, I love that. Today's Dyke Day in LA, so shout out to all the LA dykes out there.
Yay! Shout out to the LA dykes. All right.
And Dyke Day LA.
Well, shout out to Landon Cider. What's up?
And Landon Cider, always.
Hell yeah, drag kings! Woo woo!
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I don't know. What would you do you go by like they them more so pronouns?
Yeah, and I think I'm also in a place of like any pronouns because I'll get a range. I'll get he or she, and then some people will like correct themselves and like in a very unsure way. And I'm just kind of at a point where I'm like, especially going from in drag to out of drag, like
right.
Even though I don't identify as she necessarily or as a girl, people still see me or they'll even when I'm out of drag, like my name would be Erika if they know me through drag. So it still like defaults to she, and then then I'm on the bus and someone will say he. So I kind of am like any pronouns place.
Right.
But yeah.
That would be kind of I guess a mind fuck, so to speak. That you know what I mean? Like the whole gender fuckery of it. I had even played around with the idea of doing like the drag king thing, because I always tell people don't piss me off because I have a 14-inch dick and I will fuck you with it.
And it means business.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just trying to put it out there that like don't fuck with me, okay? Just because I'm a female don't mean shit. What they call it, a fab queen, I guess. I had thought about doing the drag king aspect of things, but I don't know. I already get called sir as it is over the phone, so maybe I should stay into it.
All the casual misgendering on customer service calls, we just love it.
Yeah. I get called. Oh, dude, I've had some shit. Like I worked for Spectrum, like call center. And so I have a deep voice, and I know I have a deep voice. So I just I laugh about it. If people call me sir, I don't take it offense. I just laugh because I know whatever, it is what it is.
Right.
So I just laugh about it and just toss it off. Like I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? But then if they go there, start questioning my gender and my this and my that. And, oh, I didn't know a man could be named Jennifer. and like the people say the vilest fucking shit over the phone because they're not in front of you and they feel that they can say whatever they want, especially in this day and age of the Cheeto in office.
Yeah, it's a really hairy time to be queer or different or anyone.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so this is like our second time around with this asshole. And it was bad enough the first time. I think it's even worse this time, to be honest with you, especially for the gay community. I think it's even worse.
It's definitely felt like he had a head start this time around, or some sort of like just day one was bad. Whereas I think the first time it like took a minute for everyone to like adjust and breathe and figure out what was going on. So, but we carry on.
He's got Project 2025, so you know that's gonna be lovely.
Right. So
you know,
pray for us.
Yes, I am. As part of the community, I'm definitely praying constantly. You know, too bad the bullet hadn't missed. I'm just kidding.
Are you?
Not really. Not really.
No. It was close. It was close.
How's it like out in LA with this climate going on? I mean, I know that it's typically more open-minded out there than other parts of the country. Do you feel that since he took office again, that it has changed the atmosphere in LA at all, or is it just pretty much still the same as it was?
In my experience, no. Although yesterday, ICE was going around doing several raids, but that was more in downtown LA. So I'm in East Hollywood and I work in Hollywood, and but of course, like you know, the threat is always looming of you know ICE being around and. Yeah, and also like just budgetary stuff with the state government. You know, they're trying to cut certain things that are really life-saving for queer people. So it's a tricky spot to be in all around.
Yeah. Right. These people. Yeah. Crazy. I worry about those LGBTQIA plus community members in like the South.
Okay.
And certain parts of the North where it's more like a red state.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've met so many like drag artists, queer people, trans people that live in smaller cities. And yeah, I can only imagine like that how difficult that has to be sometimes, especially right now. You know, I feel very privileged, you know, New York, San Francisco, LA, these are very like gay cities. So it was only like when I was growing up and dealing in school that I felt like really unsafe for being queer. But yeah, it's also not something that I take for granted. Like growing up as a New Yorker, you always have your eyes and ears open and are just always watching. So
right. Must be a kind of, would you say it's like any kind of a culture shock going from like the East Coast to the West Coast?
Not for me. I think because I spent time out here though, like we, you know, whenever I would film Dragula, it was always out here, coming always for gigs and things. There's certain funny little things. Like I went to New York back in March and people tend to, like if they're waiting to cross the street, they'll actually get onto the street and onto the crosswalk on the street. Which would not fly in LA. Like I'm thinking about, I take the bus to work to Santa Monica Boulevard. And yeah, like that bus is barreling through. So little funny things like that. And I'm actually a Los Angeles person that doesn't have a car. So I get around with the train and stuff. And I really like, obviously, New York's transit system better than here. But here actually really works too. Like it's pretty good. So.
Yeah, T and I are experts in the LA transit system, aren't we?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because I lived out there from 20. I've lived there twice now in Los Angeles. The second time was from 2012 to 2022. So I've just been back in Maine for the last 3 years because of my parents, or else trust and believe I would be living in Los Angeles or like LA-ish, like centric, area.
Right. I'm looking at my video. It seems like there's an issue with my webcam.
Frozen.
Seems to be an issue with my webcam, so I apologize, you all. Let me see if I can troubleshoot, but y'all can still hear me at least.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we can hear you, not a problem.
I figured I would like we wouldn't be having the podcast if you can hear.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, this webcam might look homophobic for a second, but feel free to. Oh, I'm back.
There you are, yay!
Okay, yay! I went to the YouTube page to just see how it was looking, and I was like, "Oh, this is bothering me."
Yeah.
All right, okay, we can carry on.
Awesome. Well, I don't know. I'm so excited to see you here, especially to be my first guest. I was just like, I just went and watched all of season 2 and all of Titans just so I could make sure that I had all my Erika isms down, you know what I mean?
That's awesome.
It must be crazy, like, to think it was that far back that you were on season 2.
Yeah, that was 8 years ago.
Isn't that crazy?
That's twisted. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And you don't look a day older, so.
Well, I'm
how old were you when
genes.
you were on there?
I was 24.
How old were you? 24? Okay.
24, yeah. Yeah, through only maybe 3 years into doing drag.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
So you were newer at that point.
Yeah, newer. I was getting traction in New York, and I was traveling a little bit here and there too. Got to do the Austin Drag Fest. That was actually my first time meeting the Boulet Brothers, was at Austin Drag Fest. And I got to meet them through Peaches Christ, who I also met on that trip and who was still a good friend of mine. And I got to do her haunt in San Francisco before I moved back to New York. That was, I think, 2019. I got to be a scare actor for Peaches Christ. So that was really cool.
That must have been crazy shooting that scene with her in the woods when you guys went to that cabin out in the woods.
Yes.
And you were
oh my gosh.
Little they were okay. So T hasn't seen this, but there's what it is they had a challenge where they had to go out in the woods, and it was like a beautiful cabin, and they had to each film a scene, like a horror movie scene.
Right.
So they
like
had
a horror
to
short.
Come up with their own thing. Yeah, like a horror short. And Disasterina's was fucking hilarious. Yes. I liked yours because you were all like, "Oh my god, where am I? I don't think I'm in Hollywood anymore." Like,
yeah. Yeah, a tourist who's lost in the woods was my character. And the funny thing about Disasterina's was that we could all hear. We were literally getting dressed in the woods. Because they didn't allow us into the house where they had the lie detector test and everything. Until that moment, they were like, "We don't trust you all to keep the space clean, so you are getting dressed in the woods." I think y'all saw that when we did the boudoir. That was all outside, so we were still out there deep into the night, and all we could hear was Disasterina, "He's murdering my pussy," from like off in the distance, and it was just we just all were just cackling. It was a great moment.
In context, since you haven't seen it yet, T, she's got like Disasterina has this has a little stuffed cat, and it's like her little pet cat, and she's like playing this like rich bitch mogul type person, and she's out there all like, what was it? Oh, the pills, the booze that makes me.
Something about combining like coke and booze, or booze and booze and
the drugs
pills.
Give her one of them gives her a personality, and the other one gives her a figure. Or like,
right.
It keeps me slim,
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Something like that. The alcohol gives me a personality. And she's all like,
she's great.
Serena is a badass. And he's married to a woman, which I thought was really cool, and has a stepdaughter. So I thought that was pretty badass. And so she's a little stuffed cat, and this the murderer comes up and is like all stabbing her in the cat. He's like, "You're murdering my pussy!" Oh!
It's a great moment.
That was one of the other trivia questions we were talking about earlier. One of the trivia questions on season 6, they were asking all the different drag artists these different trivia questions, and you had to guess which drag artist said it. So when they said, "I've twirled and swirled, all around New York City" or whatever, that was Erika's quote. And
so they had to guess who said it, or
I think that's what it was. They had to guess like who it was, or they had to finish a part of it. Or
okay, yeah. I was like, is it fill in the blank? Is it okay?
Yeah, some of it was like that. Yeah, so it was just pretty funny. I was like,
that's cute. Funny. That's nice of them.
And the other one was about Disasterina saying that about the Coke and the booze.
Right. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good trivia.
It was. I was very surprised. Some of them were just horribly wrong about many of the questions. You're like, have you seen the show that you're on?
Right.
That was crazy. Well, okay, so in contrast between season 2 and Titans, which would you say you had a better experience during?
Definitely season 2. Yeah, definitely season 2.
Okay, so season 2. All right. So here's one. What was it like there with Abora? Was there really a chemistry, or was that just for the show?
I think it was we were all like, on our own in a place, and we weren't super supervised.
Okay.
And so I felt like we needed, I mean, maybe, yeah, I was like away from my partner at the time for, it was going to be up to 9 weeks of filming. And I think we just needed like a safe space and like just some, affection, like human contact,
Okay, cool.
But were we falling in love? No.
No, yeah.
Did it go beyond like just, cuddling? No. We didn't want to do all that. They were also navigating a lot of personal stuff, kind of behind the scenes. So it wouldn't have been a good time and place to pursue that. But yeah, I mean, I think I definitely remember feeling like this is a safe space right now. And I'm under all this stress and by myself, not by myself, but by myself in the sense of like most people there I was meeting for the first time or really getting to know for the first time.
Oh, okay. I like how they were trying to play the whole Victoria, Elizabeth Black, and Dolly storyline.
Yeah,
and it's like, and then Victoria was dating another drag artist at the time. I don't know if she's still with that same person or not, but
I believe so. Yeah,
yeah. So that was cool. It must be interesting dating a drag artist.
Yeah, I can't say that I ever have. I've definitely hooked up with a drag artist before, but I've never dated one. I feel like that would be a lot of energy going on.
Yeah, usually it works best if like how do you say, it's like in the old comedy routines how they say there's a straight man and a funny man.
Right. There's like
one
thought of as like setup comic, punchline comic.
Yeah, you need somebody who's more the the grounded one, the one that's more kind of more laid back, easygoing, not like any kind of drama or not a huge personality. In other words, usually the behind the scenes to the person who is the front or the face of everything. So it's usually
I
there's
guess it
like
could depend on personality types, you know, like I don't think of myself as a super wild and crazy personality.
No, you seem very, very down to earth, which I really liked when I watched the show. I thought you seemed very sweet and very down to earth. No, not malicious, not some hidden agenda, not some bullshit. And I think I just have a lot of respect for you for
thank you.
being that way.
Thank you. Just me trying to be authentic, you know?
Yeah. But you don't have to create, you don't have to dumb yourself down or become a total fucking douchebag to make great TV. Did it hurt you when Abora was kind of lying about how she felt about things? In the sense of like wanting you to go further or?
No, I really don't. I'm trying to think. I mean, I remember being mad at the time, but but that was just the heat of the competition. Like we were all doing what we had to do for the competition's sake. So I don't hold any of it against them at all.
That's good. Last I had heard, Abora was dating the winner of season 5, New X.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because one of my friends, Justin Symbol, did a music video for the God Bombs, and it had Neo was in it. And he went over to there to do filming and hang out with them and stuff. And they were in a relationship with Abora, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Okay, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, this was like I want to say like a year or so ago.
Okay.
Yeah, but really, I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool. You know, to know that people made connections from the show, whether it just be friendships or a relationship,
right?
That something kind of came from something.
I want to say they knew each other before, but I didn't know that they were together. So I don't know. I don't have a timeline on that.
Yeah, they might have. I mean, I don't know because like Neohuro's from China, so I didn't know like how long she had been in the States.
Right.
You know, I didn't know if she just came over for like Dragula and decided to stay. I know there was the whole thing where she was interested in Orgotic.
Oh, was that a storyline on season 5?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I always like how they have these storylines, and you're always like, is it real or is it fabricated by production? I don't think the Boulets don't seem. Now you can correct me on this if I'm wrong, but the Boulets do not seem like the type of people that would fuck around and like be manufacturing fucking storylines and romances and other things like other franchises. We're not going to say the franchise, but you know what I'm saying.
I mean, was speaking for like Titans in particular, like was that completely conjured up out of thin air? No, but it was definitely pushed forward as something that they wanted to focus on. So, I mean, just like any other reality show, there's producers and people that are trying to find the story in the footage and in the reality. So, yeah, it was definitely something that I remember, like the situation with like Abora, Hoso, and Asher. It was something that we didn't really want. It didn't, at least, I mean, the other girls can correct me if I'm wrong, but as a group, the vibe felt like we didn't really want to talk about it, but production wanted us to talk about it. So it ended up getting talked about. And I think there were some fan reactions that were like, why are they talking about this if they don't seem like they want to talk about it? And that's kind of why. So that wasn't great.
I personally don't feel that you should have been in the bottom 2 on the first episode.
Oh, well, I appreciate
with Abora up there, and I can see why you were fucking pissed off about the situation. Like you were being put there by the other artists needlessly. And
Yeah,
I
and
love
they
Coco.
specifically said that.
Coco's amazing. I love
Yeah.
Coco, and I think Coco's fucking phenomenal, an
Yeah.
amazing drag artist. But comparatively, her outfit to your outfit, and I thought you did a better performance also.
Well, that's the
In the
thing. I
sense of,
felt really confident about my performance that week.
yeah, I thought you did
You know,
a great job.
production was like gassing me up and being like, "Wow, you're one of the only few that like knows the words." So I'm
Yeah.
like, even if I don't win the challenge, I think I'll get good marks.
Yeah.
So I had like the best of hopes and the best of like the best mental state until we got to that point, and they're like, you're in the bottom 3, and then it's like the girls are gonna vote. So I was like, I knew what they were what they were gonna do and what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
So that was frustrating, you know. And it honestly, like on an involuntary like level, it triggered me. Like I was just like, oh, I've worked so hard since season 2, and I'm right back kind of where I started is how it felt. And then to again get that critique of, you know, your performance was held back by your scene partner. That was really hard too. Yeah.
Like Bora kind of fucked you in the moment. I mean, in the sense of like they didn't know their words. You could tell they didn't really know the words when they were lip syncing.
Yeah.
You could tell very blatantly that they did not. Maybe a couple words here and there, kind of, you know, but you're just like, no.
Right.
And then I watched you, and I was like, Erika knows all the words. Like she's doing a really good job. And the body, the mannerisms, and the dancing, and this like all the stuff.
I had musicality to the song. I was adding, you know, gestures and meaning, and so that was hard. And it sort of felt like we're gonna turn the needle just a little bit and give you this critique of your performance was held back by the other person because they wanted that gaggery and that drama of
because of the prior
because of the voting, and they knew people were going to vote for me. I really feel like it was pretty transparent, you know, what they were going for with that episode. And it's like once you see what production has in store, it's like very hard to break out of that, or to how do you reclaim the narrative from there? It's very hard.
Right. That would be difficult. And it was just kind of like, it's almost kind of like they were kind of drawing on that past fucking bullshit drama from season 2, almost like there was like a, you know, like
because they were wanting to explore my relationship with Abora and how we had kind of like lost contact, and so it all
5 years. I remember that, the whole 5-year bullshit.
Yeah. And I was never like hiding from Abora. I was never hiding from or avoiding. We just weren't in touch. And you have a whole pandemic and all of that was going on. And,
most definitely.
You know, I was dealing with personal stuff also in the beginning of the pandemic and navigating being back in New York. So it wasn't like I was seeing her every day. But it was hard because I could see what was happening and there was really nothing I could do to change it.
Yeah.
I just think it's crazy, these producers. I mean, I understand it makes for great TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't fault them, and I don't fault the girls for being bitchy, because that's what the show is there to do, is to put that forward. So I don't hold it against them, but it really sucked, and that first episode especially was giving like we're back on the playground and everyone hates you, and it's really triggering.
I thought that was crazy when you got eliminated too on both seasons. To be honest with you, I thought I don't know. I just kind of saw you going even further than some of the other ones. Like I think personally, and I'm not saying anything against Deborah's art because she's an amazing drag artist as well. I'm saying like I think that you should have been catapulted forward to 4th spot versus Abora. I'm just being honest.
That. I appreciate the support.
I think you could. Oh man, I think you could have killed some of those challenges afterwards,
Do you mean on season 2 or
or either one. To be honest
Titan
with
2?
you,
Yeah, I was really hoping that we could get to sea monsters or horror icons. Or honestly, like I was starting to get things together for the zombie prom. Was very excited about that challenge. The
I would love to have
D&D,
seen that. Oh
yeah, the D&D one just was not, that wasn't my strongest trick in the bag. And it's like hard to create everything of like equal quality, or like it's like hard to, you're putting together 10 looks in a month,
right.
and they're
I did
looking
like
at
your
every little
pickaxe.
detail.
I liked your
Sorry.
pickaxe. I liked the
Oh, thank you.
pickaxe from that episode. Like you jeweled the living shit out of that pickaxe,
Yeah,
and
just did what I could to add some razzle dazzle to it, but it wasn't, truthfully, it wasn't my favorite thing that I brought for the competition. So I was like,
I liked
oh
your
fuck, I just have to get through
dragon.
this challenge, and then I can get to zombie prom, and then I can really show something cool.
I
But
like
even
the
with that,
dragon
like,
one you did.
oh yeah,
That
thank
one
you,
with the horns and stuff. That was nice.
thank you, thank you.
Ah, crazy. It's like I just saw you on TV. Crazy. Do you do shows out in Los Angeles?
Here and there.
Like performances and things?
Yeah, here and there. I've kind of taken a little bit of a put on the brakes a little bit with performing. I felt like after Titans, like mental health was a challenge. And then I think also the economics of drag was just getting more and more challenging, and that was contributing to the mental health. So yeah, I had a whole other career working with LGBT youth going on in the background, and I've been doing that full time. And then whenever a good offer comes for a show, I'll remain open to it. I did a show in Riverside last week, which was really fun. So that was my first time performing out there. Cool. And every now and again, like Bitch Puddin will ask me to do her show, or I've done Meatball show, or so yeah, I perform mostly at Precinct these days. Then randomly last year, somebody asked me to do their wedding, perform at their wedding. So
wow,
that was like a really fun experience. And so and I'm imagining like for October Halloween season,
right,
I'll be kind of doing more shows than usual. That's how it was last year, at least. I had like a couple different shows going on for Halloween season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever do those Hamburger Mary shows?
I did Landon's show. Landon's show in Hamburger Mary's has been retired now, but I got to do Landon's show last year as well, and that was really cute. Yeah. So Hamburger Mary's Long Beach.
Okay, down in Long Beach.
Yeah.
Nice. I bet you that'd be a little different than the one on West Hollywood Boulevard. Oh no, Santa Monica Boulevard there.
Yeah, Santa Monica Boulevard, but yeah, it's in West Hollywood. I don't know if I've ever been to that one. I haven't been to WeHo that much. I'm more of like an East Side diva. I'm right next to Silver Lake and Los Feliz, so like Akbar's right by me. The Eagle.
Nice. The Eagle.
Yeah, and then I just take from Sunset Junction. You jump on the number 4 bus. You're in downtown LA, right next to Precinct. So, those are my spots normally.
Oh, that's crazy. So it sounds like a lot of the different artists do shows out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I've always thought of like LA as, there's a lot of obviously Dragula artists that live here. The Boulets are based out of here. The show films out of here. So it kind of makes sense. And especially that first season, they were all at the time living in LA, and they were such a huge support system to all of us on season 2. So, I mean, those of us that, because those of us that got close with the season 1 girls, like myself and Monique, because Monique had a relationship with Ursula Major and Frankie Doom and all that. So I got to kind of get to know them better through her.
I'm in the process of booking Monique.
Okay,
for
cool.
the show. We've been talking on Instagram, so I'm very excited for that one. Especially if he wears a mask. That'd be pretty badass.
Right, that would be cool.
Just like, I mean, I know that's what he's most known for is his masks and how he designs everything. And it's just phenomenal, the artistry that you all have in your different ways and in your different, how they do it. I mean, like, just each artist is so fucking incredible. Just
and
I love
unique.
watching you guys.
We're all different.
The artistry with the makeup and the just everything, especially like what you do, where it's like more like the anime K-Con and the gamer and all that. And I thought it was interesting how would you say it was more difficult with your aesthetic to fit into the world of Dragula with what it,
for
what
sure.
it is?
Yeah, it was challenging at times. So I think like even just their color palette and what they're looking for, they want that photorealistic. And I like the more cartoonish. I like something that's a little bit more not realistic. Like I think of Victoria Black, and she's all about like executing the prosthetics and the effects as if it was Universal Studios, as if it was like a real haunted house. But then I live in like this cartoon world where the blood is usually a different color, or just playing around with different. So like I was never like the prosthetics queen or the special effects queen, but I've always loved horror, and I've always there were always traces of it in my drag, even when my drag was more glam, and I was trying to. But even then, like that early phase of me doing drag, that was me trying to kind of fit into what I felt like I needed to do in the New York scene to get traction there. So I think like Dragula gave me the permission a little bit more to kind of expand and kind of bring more into the mixture.
Oh, that's amazing. I like that. I like that you had a different approach to it. It wasn't just the standard, like I'm a horror actor, or I work at Not Scary Farm, or Universal Horror Nights, or whatever the fuck. Like, I mean, I know they used to make a joke about Victoria. That's the world she lives in.
Yeah, I think that was like the running joke on Titans was like, how are we supposed to compete with literal Universal Studios? Yeah. And so that was even daunting going in. I was like, I know she's gonna be there, so it's gonna already be tight competition from the first moment.
Right. What was it like with having Melissa B. Fierce from season 1 be with you on Titans?
Well, I was glad that we had season 1 girls on there.
Yes, it was nice to see somebody from there.
She's intimidating though, because you know what kind of personality she brings, and I think like her Coco and Kendra in particular like hit it off right away. And so I felt that they were definitely coordinating their attacks. And I'm the kind of person that I'm very self-reliant. I don't really depend on another person to like make me feel safe. I kind of have to do that for me. So that was also kind of hard. But then at the same time, like after that first episode, trying to think, when was it that it might have been during D&D that we got to like talk more, and like we became cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was sad how she ended up like kind of going out.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Like that. That was kind of sad.
Yeah, that was hard.
Especially, I mean, I get it. Like the frustration. I mean, she's like pissed off thinking that Eva is saying one thing to people this way, and then she turns around and she says the total opposite to somebody else or whatever. But I don't think it was necessarily as much that, to be honest with you. Sometimes people on these shows can kind of jump to conclusions or think that a person means things a certain way, and I really just don't necessarily know if it was the case or not. I understand she was going through something really difficult at that time anyway, with her husband leaving her right before she went to go on the show. So
I couldn't imagine.
It's hard. It would be very difficult having to prepare to, like, now I got to go do this whole thing, and my world just fell apart. My heart went out to her. Very,
and especially
amazing.
on Titans, you go to like no contact with the outside world. You know, we were really in that bubble.
Do they sequester you? Like, I'm always curious because we see things from this side of the fence. We don't see things from your guys' perspective, like what goes on behind the scenes. How do you guys, like, I mean, they put you up in a hotel, they sequester you, like,
yeah,
I mean, we've
pretty
heard
much
rumors
drag
race and
typical stuff that you would expect without giving like the goriest details. But yeah, like, you know, don't leave your room, no talking, you know, because they want to keep what happens on the show. I think one of the things that was challenging for viewers watching season 2 was that, like, especially for that Scream Queens challenge, we had 2 weeks of just being together. Like, we were all living together, getting ready for the challenges together. And so, yeah, it was that moment of like stuff is going on off camera that the audience isn't seeing, so they don't quite understand like why we were upset with Abora, or like we were just had it with her at that point. Excuse me. But so then in Titans, it was like, you know, shut your door. You are, you know, there's a monitor down the hall. I want to say even like tape on the door type of thing. You know, if you need something, you need to call that person. So,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it was definitely more of a controlled experience. Your phone is taken from you. So just like stuff that you would expect from like Drag Race and sort of industry standard stuff.
Right. Okay. So totally different between season 2 and Titans.
Yes.
It sounds like. Yes. Is you like you were saying earlier how you weren't really supervised as much on season 2.
Yeah. Correct.
Okay. That's cool. I mean, would you say that there was, on either show, would you say there was a lot of like fighting behind the scenes at all, or was it just all on camera kind of crap?
Yeah, I don't remember anyone really fighting or getting into it like that off screen. I think we were all pretty chill from what I can remember. Yeah, I don't.
That's good.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to think. I really can't think of anything.
That's good though. You know what I mean? You're making a best of a bad situation. No, I'm just kidding. No.
I could be wrong, or there might have been something that happened on another season that I don't know about. But in general, I think we at least had that awareness of like what we were there to do, and that it wasn't personal / we would all be cool after. In general,
I would have to say your season is my favorite, and then maybe number 4, and then like 5, 6, 3, and 1. And I think the only reason 1 might be ranked my lowest is just because it was the newest. It was new. It wasn't as fleshed out story wise or cinematography wise or whatever.
Yeah, it was definitely a pilot season. They didn't know, what was going to come of it. Nobody did,
Yeah, that was crazy. I didn't even discover the show until it was already like, I think it was probably already like season, 4.
Okay.
Like later on. I discovered it by accident. To be honest with you, I went on Amazon Prime, and I was just like, I saw, I was looking at other, like, what other drag shows are out there, because they had like Drag Me to Dinner, which is like kind of like, and then had that was with was it Neil Patrick Harris and his husband. And then you had like obviously Drag Race, and then all the spin-offs, the millions of spin-offs from the fucking show, the different countries. Right. I mean, I think that would be pretty cool if the Boulets achieved that at some point. You know what I mean?
I mean, one thing I do like about the show is that we can have people from all over the world So they kind of have that global element, which is cool.
I kind of noticed that I like that they do that. Whereas, like, yeah, the Drag Race franchise, they have like different franchises in different countries. Your guys is like, it's like people, come there. Like, Matic was from like, I don't know, like Colombia or like South America somewhere. I can't remember what country, but he's from like, South America. And then you got Nihuru X is from China. And you got Hoso Teratoma, which is from Korea.
Yeah.
And just like, these different people coming from different countries. I thought that was pretty badass.
It is cool.
Do they fly you guys out? Probably fly you guys out, put you up in a hotel, do all the...
Yeah, they take care of all that, thankfully.
Oh, that's good. That would really fucking suck if you had to go out there.
I mean, we do spend all of our own money on the actual drag, though, so that is is a real big challenge in and of itself.
Okay. Do you think they should do like Drag Race does and has like a stipend for the artists?
That would be great. I mean, even just like a certain cap of like we will reimburse you up to this amount for fabric, hair, because it's not like, even if you do make everything yourself, it's still a lot of materials, raw materials, crafting supplies. Yeah. 3 months rent. Like who just has 3 months rent lying around? God. I mean, I was saving up because I had an inkling that a Titans was coming around.
Okay. That's good.
But yeah, it was still hard. And it took time to even just get out of that investment hole. Yeah.
I'm excited to see who might be on like a second Titans season, as I know eventually there's got to be one.
Yeah, well, there's rumors out there. I don't really have any concrete tea, but there's been rumors. So check on the Reddits and all that.
I just can't imagine it not moving forward. I mean, as far as a trajectory of a show goes, because they just had season 6, so I'm thinking probably within the next, I don't know, couple of years or something, at least 2-3 years, they might have another Titans season. Right. Once they get enough seasons of the main show under their belt,
right,
to be able to do that. Because I mean, obviously, it's an expense on their part too, because they're like, they always say, like, the grand prize of $100,000 courtesy of us. You know what I mean? Like, I love how they say that, because it's like they're funding the project versus Drag Race.
No shade. I feel like that's them just saying the network is paying it. I don't know. I'm like, do they have $100,000? Like, is RuPaul paying $100,000? I think it just means like, but they are the creators of the show. They are the creators of the show. So in a way, it is true. I would hope at least that the network was footing the bill on that.
Right. Well, Drag Race are always saying, this is, courtesy of Anastasia Beverly Hills.
Right.
Or this is like, this like 1 year it was like Cash App.
Yeah.
Was putting up the grand prize, and like they have different companies and stuff like that. So I'm always wondering, like, do the Boulets have that level behind them at this point? I think they should.
Yeah, I'm like, I hope that they don't have to pay out of their own pocket for, like they should be making money from doing the show, as should we.
Amen.
But.
Oh, do you have any questions, T, before we head out? Before we say thank you to our wonderful friend?
Well, I haven't seen you, so I would like to see you in RuPaul's Drag Race. So we're made of.
I don't know about all that. I think I'm good on competing in shows. I would love to find a beautiful, like, unscripted, non-competitive project to be a part of. Something,
all
something
right,
positive.
We got our work cut out for us, T. We're gonna have our own. What my goal is someday to have my own horror movies and like TV shows and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so I would be honored if you, when we move back to Los Angeles, if you would be in some of our movies.
Let's do it. Why not? I mean,
it would be badass. But we should do some anime shit too. We should do like some like sci-fi anime, like crazy shit too. You know what I mean?
A slasher at an anime con or something. That'd be fun.
Oh, that would be badass. I love it. Can you please tell everyone where they can find you, like your social medias, website, anything like that?
Yeah, it's mainly just been consolidated to Instagram at this point. So Instagram, Erika Klash, Erika with a K, Klash with a K. I also have a Discord server and a Twitch channel, and I do have a YouTube if you want to see backlog content of streaming or drag. There's a lot of backlog on there, but I haven't been as active with it. And yeah, just like follow me on Instagram to see if I'm performing anytime soon. And if you need someone for an event, a private party, a drag show, let me know. Yeah.
We need to get her gigs, people. Let's get some gigs. And not just tip gigs, god damn it.
Yeah, thing, like there's if I wanted to go out and find gigs for $30, I probably could, but I just at a point where
you've been on TV, sweetie. You should get paid.
This needs to be right. But I think we all deserve more. It's not just because I was on a show.
No,
I think
all drag artists.
I think asking any queen to work for tips is fucked up.
Or pay to play kind of shit with bands. And
when it becomes pay to play, right? Because then it's like, who has the resources to? But then also at the same time, these all of these shows, Drag Race, Dragula, like they have this have us in this arms race mentality of like everything has to be better and bigger and more expensive and more perfect and. I feel like fans sometimes get ahead of themselves where they're in a place where they want to play judge on a show and like pick apart everything like a local girl is wearing.
I hate that shit.
And it's like, darling, they just worked an 8-hour shift.
Yeah.
And then they ran home to get into this drag for tips or for $20. So like cut them a fucking break.
Amen.
Yeah.
We're all artists and we all strive to do better. We all try to do the best we can, but the artistry is what's most important. And all that other bullshit doesn't mean shit. That's why I want to showcase people on this show that haven't been on TV either, because there's millions of drag artists around the world and not every one of them has been on fucking TV. They deserve just as much time in the spotlight as any of the other motherfuckers.
Yeah. I would love to see drag become a real, not that it's not a real career, that sounds so shady, but like a career that's valued in society. You know what I mean? Like real in that sense. Like people take it seriously. It's not just like, let's laugh at this clown and throw a couple dollars her way and
I mean, people don't seem to understand there's so many different styles of drag. It's not just like, the comedy queens or whatever. There's different types. There's the pageant queens. There's so many. There's drag kings. There's fucking tranimals like Monique Shame. There's like so many different styles of drag that you can't just put everything into one fucking little neat box and cram it down and be like,
Mm-hmm.
So I think you need to have an appreciation for the art form itself. And don't believe everything you fucking see on television, people, because not everything that's on these shows is the reality of shit. And
it's a version of reality, right? I really think of it as unscripted storytelling. As opposed to reality TV, because it's still guided and edited and formulated.
I agree. Crazy.
Yeah,
it's nuts. Well, I think you should have gone all the way to the end. Been like, you know, top 3, 4, you know what I mean? Like right there at the end. I just thought you should have gone further than some of the other ones. That's just my opinion.
I appreciate your support, though.
But please, people, do not ever fucking send hate to drag artists. I hate that fucking bullshit. You see somebody say something on TV or they're scripted to be like the villain or whatever that season or something, whatever. Don't go saying horrible things to people. You don't know that person. What fucking right do you have to go and bash people about some shit? Like, you're not perfect, motherfuckers. I just don't like it. I think it's evil. Don't go on social media. I hate these people that go on social media and say horrible, mean, just detestable things like you should kill yourself and other crap. What the fuck is wrong with people? It's an art form. It's meant to be light and love and beauty and fun and to be appreciated, not to be all people taking it all serious and hating on motherfuckers.
I really do think it's a media literacy thing, and I think it's people not understanding the nuance that I was just unpacking, which is that it's a version of reality. It's not reality. It's
exactly.
You know, so you know, even if it's not scripted, it's still, you know, we're all still cast to play certain roles, and so yeah, it's like, but if you can look at it through that lens, then you're not going to take it so seriously. Or maybe these people do see it for what it is, and they're still just maybe people out there just need to scream at something. But like, you know, there's like a lot of. I think maybe people are just hateful, but kind of interesting how I think drag queens can be, you know, a target for, you know, not misogyny, but you know, that they can be similarly mistreated in that way.
Yeah. I just think is a whole, a lot of times the gay community, the LGBTIQAIA plus community can be treated very horribly in society, which fucking sucks.
And then we treat each other horrible sometimes too.
Yeah, well, all humans do.
You know,
it's not just, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even come out of the closet till I was fucking 40? 39, 40? I was 40. Yeah, I was 40 before I ever came out of the closet because I grew up in a religious family and you weren't supposed to, you know, man with a woman and that's it. And, you know, yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, exactly. My older sister, same thing. She didn't come out until she was like in her 30s. You know, also, and she had children and got married because she felt that that's what she was supposed to do according to our family and societal whatever. I just say, be yourself, be a good person, treat others with kindness and respect, and, you know, help one another. You know, like that's my platform here is to help you guys to get more notoriety, more to be known. So like for your artistry, for, you know, being a great person, for just being, you know, it's not all what you see on TV and it's not all that bullshit. So you got to kind of look at the artistry. That's what I looked at all the time when I watched you, especially, it was just the art form itself.
Thank you so much.
I want to thank you. I want to thank you so much for being on the show today. Really appreciate you. You've just been such a delightful guest.
Thank you. It's been fun.
Thank you. I'm glad. Spread the word. We're looking to, you know, to book as many great drag artists as possible out there, whether they've been on a show or not. It doesn't matter. I just fell in love with. I found a lot of drag artists on Instagram that I didn't even know existed. So I think this is like a good step forward for the community.
Yeah, congratulations on launching this and good luck moving forward.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Well, we want to thank Erika Klash from the Boulet Brothers Dragula Season 2 and Titans for being on our show today. Check her out. Go follow social media. Go like, subscribe, share, follow, and go check out to see when she might be, doing a show near you out in the Los Angeles area. Go support.
Twirling and swirling throughout Los Angeles.
Yeah, she's going to twirl and swirl all over Los Angeles. Be fierce. I love it. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. I want to thank you to Silent Giggles, aka T-Doggaroonie, for being on the show with us tonight. We appreciate you. We will be back next week with La Zavaleta from season 4 of the Boulet Brothers Dragula. I'm very excited. And then we're going to have Jaharia from season 6, Anti-Heroine from season 6. We're going to have Desiree Dick. We've got Vivi the Force. We've got Hollow Eve is coming on July 26th. I'm so excited.
Wow.
I'm saying we got a big, and then we got Loris coming on probably actually Loris is coming on in November. So we're just packing it full of amazing artists.
Well, I'm excited to see how those interviews turn out.
I'm excited. Only reason I couldn't get Nicole Paige Brooks from RuPaul's Drag Race Season 2 is because she's under contract right now because of All Stars.
Right.
She's like, I'm sorry, I can't be on right now. I said, no, totally, dude. Totally understand. NDA, you gotta do.
Yeah, give us some time. Give us some time.
I said, we'll see you 6 months from now. When after everything's aired and the press junkets.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you.
Thank you.
And it's been such a pleasure interviewing you tonight. Thank you for everything that you put out into the world. Just keep being you.
I will. Thank you so much. Take care.
Awesome. All right. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.